There is a silent power within you, a sculptor, patiently shaping the contours of your life with every passing thought. Unseen yet undeniable, this force molds your health, your fortune, your character. James Allen, with the clarity of a sage and the calm of a monk, brings this truth to light in As a Man Thinketh, a timeless meditation on the creative power of thought. This is not a book of idle philosophy or lofty abstraction. It is a guide for those willing to look inward, to take responsibility, and to rise. Within these pages, Allen reveals how your thoughts are not only reflections of your current state, but the seeds of all future becoming. From health to purpose, from vision to serenity, each chapter is a mirror held up to the soul, a chance to see, to awaken, and to transform. If you have ever wondered why life unfolds the way it does, or suspected that the answer lies not in chance, but in something far deeper, then this book will not only answer your question, but place the power squarely in your hands. Here lies not a path for the chosen few, but for anyone willing to master their thoughts, direct their mind, and forge a character worthy of their highest dreams. Begin here, and begin now. For as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. First chapter, Thought and Character. A man is quite literally what he thinks. His character is the complete sum of all his thoughts. If the soul of a man is like a garden, then his thoughts are the seeds, some sprouting weeds, others bearing fruit. Just as the gardener cultivates his plot, keeping it free from unwanted growth and planting the flowers and fruits he desires, so too must a man tend the garden of his mind. He can choose his thoughts, and thereby he can shape his destiny. Every act springs from a thought. Every word, every decision, every failure and triumph first takes root in the soil of the mind. Nothing arises in a vacuum. A noble character does not appear by chance. It is the natural result of continued effort in right thinking. Likewise, an ignoble character is the outcome of long-cherished wrong thoughts. Man is made or unmade by himself. By the right choice and true application of thought, he rises to divine perfection. By the abuse and wrong application of thought, he descends below the level of the beast. In the hidden chambers of thought, life's script is written. This script does not discriminate. It writes itself through the constancy of a man's habitual thoughts. Thought and character are one. The outer conditions of a person's life will always be found to be harmoniously related to his inner state. It is no accident when suffering follows vice or joy follows virtue. Circumstances do not make the man, they reveal him to himself. Men imagine that thought can be kept secret, but it cannot. It rapidly crystallizes into habit, and habit solidifies into circumstance. Good thoughts bear good fruit. Bad thoughts bear bad fruit. The world presses us with events, but it is our thoughts that convert these events into the substance of our character. If you would change your condition, you must begin by changing your thoughts. This is not an abstract doctrine. Consider the man who lives in fear and hatred. His days are troubled, his face is drawn, and his soul is stormy. Contrast him with the one who harbors love and serenity. His life breathes peace, and his countenance is calm. Each man has summoned his fate by the tenor of his thoughts. He need not curse his lot, nor blame his neighbors, for he has crafted his reality as surely as the blacksmith shapes iron. To think rightly is to align oneself with divine law. It is to understand that we do not suffer by chance, but by ungoverned thoughts that build invisible chains. To escape suffering, a man must purify his thoughts. Let him cease to think evil of others, and he shall cease to suffer evil from others. Let him lift his thoughts, and life will rise with him. Thus, the key to every man's transformation lies not in changing his circumstances, but in transforming himself. In the silence of self-mastery, he will find his highest joy. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, not merely in the realm of dreams, but in the inescapable reality of his own becoming. Key learnings. 1. Thought is the root of character. Who we are is shaped entirely by what we think. 2. Circumstances reflect our inner life. They are not random but mirror our mental state. 3. Noble or ignoble character is not fate. It is cultivated through persistent thinking. 4. Life's joy or suffering arises from our habitual thought patterns, not external forces. 5. Self-transformation begins with thought purification, not with changing the outer world. Second chapter. Effect of thought on circumstances. A man's mind is the master weaver, both of the inner garment of character and the outer garment of circumstance. By the loom of thought, he weaves both, and every day he adds to the fabric, whether he chooses consciously or not. Circumstances arise not as chance occurrences, but as the unfolding results of consistent mental patterns. Men are anxious to improve their circumstances, but are unwilling to improve themselves. They therefore remain bound. The world without is a reflection of the world within. Even when a man finds himself in poverty, degradation, or sorrow, it is not merely the world pressing upon him. It is also the echo of his thoughts. For as he thinks, so he becomes. As he continues to think, so he remains. Unjust or seemingly cruel conditions are not the tyrants of fate, but the indicators of deeply sown thoughts. The soul attracts what it secretly harbors, loves, and fears. That which it clings to or resists will manifest itself. Thus, man is constantly drawing to himself the circumstances most suited to his current state of being. Whether through aspirations or fears, desires or denials, the external world shapes itself to the inner life. This principle applies even to the so-called good or bad fortune of a man. He does not get what he idly wishes for, but what he justly earns. Wishes are fleeting shadows, but thoughts are seeds. A man can rise, conquer, and achieve only by lifting his thoughts. Until he lifts them, he remains tethered to conditions that reflect his lower state. The universe does not grant success arbitrarily. It honors the laws of inner order. Even in hardship, one can trace the path back to thought. A man may groan under burdens he does not understand, but if he examines his life truthfully, he will see the hidden cords that his past thinking has woven. When he lifts his thoughts and changes his inner pattern, the outer world must change with it. It is law. The dreamers, the artists, the innovators, they do not escape the law but master it. They create visions, hold them firm, and shape their world by the force of sustained thought. As a man ceases to blame circumstances and begins to perceive the silent power within, he stands on the threshold of mastery. Key learnings. 1. Circumstances are the direct reflection of habitual thought patterns. 2. Change in life's external reality begins with sincere and sustained self-reflection. 3. Desires and fears alike shape our experience by magnetizing corresponding conditions. 4. Growth demands the discipline to lift thought beyond wishful dreaming to responsible creation. 5. True power arises when one ceases to blame others and recognizes his own thought as the architect of his destiny. Third chapter. Effect of thought on health and the body. The body is the servant of the mind. It obeys the operations of thought, whether those thoughts are deliberately chosen or passively accepted. Disease and health, like circumstances, are rooted in thought. Sickly thoughts will express themselves through a sickly body. Strong, pure, and cheerful thoughts build up the body in vigor and grace. The body responds swiftly to the commands of the mind. Habitual fear and anxiety disrupt the heart, cloud the brain, and damage the nerves. The face reflects the mood of the mind, and over time, The body bends to reflect the soul's architecture. If a man harbors envy, hatred, doubt, or gloom, he will see them take form in his flesh. On the other hand, calmness, confidence, and goodwill illuminate the face and bring health to the limbs. Thoughts of malice, envy, disappointment, or despair rob the body of its health and grace. Meanwhile, thoughts of serenity, love, and joy act like restorative elixirs. The pure in heart not only see God, but in time, they embody divine vitality. Clean thoughts make clean habits, and clean habits preserve the temple of the soul. The body. The people who live in continual fear of disease often fall prey to it. They attract what they focus on. The law is clear. What a man continues to dwell upon will eventually manifest in his world. Mental habits shape biological realities. A man who governs his thoughts well finds not only moral clarity, but physical resilience. Thus, let the man who would renew his body guard his thoughts. Let him banish doubt and fear, for they are the enemies of health. He who maintains a bright, calm, and hopeful mind will discover that even in adversity, his body remains a faithful servant, adapting and healing in response to his higher will. Key learnings. 1. The body reflects the consistent tone of one's thoughts, whether uplifting or corrosive. 2. Emotional states such as fear and bitterness can physically weaken and damage the body. 3. Serenity, confidence, and goodwill contribute to health and physical vitality. 4. Thought control is the first step toward bodily self-care and healing. 5. Fixation on illness often attracts it. Inner peace and positivity are antidotes to disease. 4th chapter, Thought and Purpose. Until thought is linked with purpose, there is no intelligent accomplishment. With the clarity of purpose, thought rises from aimless dreaming into guided power. The soul cries out for direction, and without it, life becomes a restless, drifting sea. Thought allied fearlessly to purpose becomes creative force. It leads, molds, and transforms. A man should conceive of a legitimate purpose in his heart and set out to accomplish it. This purpose may be spiritual or material, noble or humble, but until it becomes central, the mind remains scattered and ineffective. As the sun gathers light into a beam to ignite fire, so must a man gather his thoughts to a definite aim. Vagueness begets weakness. Definiteness births strength. Those who fail are those who allow their thoughts to wander. They drift from whim to whim, from impulse to impulse, mistaking mere desires for purposeful intent. But desires are many, weak and fleeting. Purpose is one, steady and strong. Even if a man fails repeatedly, he must still hold unwavering to his purpose. Only then does failure become a stepping stone to success. Purpose calls for self-discipline, for sacrifice, for tenacity. It commands the full force of mind and energy. The weakest soul becomes mighty when filled with a fixed and noble goal. The strongest falters when he pursues nothing. Purpose gives meaning to toil, dignity to struggle, and courage to endure. Let the young man, or anyone at the threshold of a new path, choose his purpose well, place it at the center of his being, and devote himself fully to it. Let him not listen to doubts nor fears, but to the quiet voice within that speaks of possibility. In the union of thought and purpose lies the architecture of destiny. Key learnings. 1. Thought without purpose leads to confusion. With purpose, it becomes power. 2. A clearly defined goal channels mental energy into productive, transformative action. 3. Persistence in the face of failure is only possible when rooted in unwavering purpose. 4. Desire is scattered and fickle. Purpose is concentrated and enduring. 5. Purpose dignifies effort and transforms labor into meaningful endeavor. 5th chapter. The thought factor in achievement. All that a man achieves and all that he fails to achieve is the direct result of his own thoughts. In a justly ordered universe, where loss and gain are proportioned, the strength of one's achievements mirrors the nobility and direction of his thoughts. Achievement is not luck, nor the result of external forces. It is thought in action. He who would accomplish much must sacrifice much. He who aims high must purify his thoughts to rise. Only by aligning oneself with a clear and virtuous vision can one climb to the heights of success. Success comes to those who have earned it by persistently nurturing it in the garden of the mind. Dreams are the seedlings of reality, but dreams unsupported by effort fall away like chaff in the wind. The oak sleeps in the acorn, the bird waits in the egg, and the highest vision of the soul yearns for the hour of birth. Circumstances unfold to those who strive, who never yield to doubt, and who mold their life through persistent vision. The greatest achievers, the artists, the thinkers, the leaders, first dreamed. They held to their dreams through dark days and unyielding trials. Their outer triumph was nothing more than the blossom of a long-cultivated inner vision. Doubt and fear are the foes of achievement. They must be slain before success can be born. The man who conquers himself, who lifts his thoughts above fear, who focuses his mind with integrity and courage, becomes the master of destiny. Every achievement was once a thought, shaped by will and purified by resolve. Key learnings. 1. Achievement arises from the steady, disciplined cultivation of empowering thoughts. 2. There is no success without the inward effort of mental purification and focus. 3. Dreams become reality only when supported by continuous action and belief. 4. Fear and doubt must be overcome to unlock true potential. 5. Every outward success begins as a sustained inward vision held firm through adversity. 6th chapter. Visions and Ideals. The dreamers are the saviors of the world. As visible things are shaped by the invisible thought, so men, through dreams, fashion the reality of tomorrow. Without vision, life is barren and directionless. The world owes its progress to those who cherished high ideals, who dreamed lofty dreams, and who lived to see them realized. He who cherishes a beautiful vision, a lofty ideal in his heart, will one day realize it. Columbus cherished a vision of another world and discovered it. Copernicus dreamed of a multiplicity of worlds and revealed them. The Buddha beheld the vision of a spiritually pure man and became one. The world opens to those who dream with faith and persevere with action. Do not let the vision fade. Nurture it in silence. Let it shape your days and direct your energies. Though the outer world may scoff and the path may seem dim, hold to your vision. What you long to become is not a mirage. It is the soul's true call to its highest self. The soul attracts what it secretly harbors. Every noble vision patiently cherished will one day clothe itself in reality. This is the law of life. Temporary failure and hardship only serve to refine and strengthen the dreamer. The true dreamer holds fast through ridicule, through failure, through storm. He walks by the light of the invisible and becomes a lighthouse to others. As you think, so shall you become. To desire is not enough. You must desire greatly, dream constantly, and act persistently. The vision you glorify in your heart, the ideal you enthrone in your mind, this you will build your life by, this you will become. Key learnings. 1. Dreams and visions are the precursors of all meaningful achievement. 2. Those who hold steadfast to their ideals, despite adversity, shape the world. 3. Every great life is built upon a cherished and unwavering vision. 4. Vision must be nurtured with belief, patience, and disciplined action. 5. Your dominant inner vision defines the form and quality of your outer life. 7th chapter. Serenity. Calmness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom. It is the result of long and patient effort in self-control. Its presence is the sign of ripened experience and spiritual maturity. A calm man, having learned how to govern himself, knows how to adapt to others. And they, in turn, revere his strength and rely on his presence. The more tranquil a man becomes, the greater his success, influence, and power for good. The strong, calm man is always loved and revered. He is like a shade-giving tree in a thirsty land or a sheltering rock in a storm. People instinctively trust the one who does not speak in haste or react in anger. A man becomes calm in the measure that he understands himself as a thought-evolved being. He sees the internal relations of things. He understands how to correct his conditions by working patiently and wisely upon himself. The calm man, having learned how to control his thoughts, has become the master of his destiny. The angry man, the anxious man, the doubting man, they are tossed by the storms of their own minds. But he who is calm has risen above these tempests. His peace is not the result of favorable conditions, it is the cause of them. As a man becomes increasingly calm, he sees things more clearly and acts more effectively. Self-control is strength. Right thought is mastery. Calmness is power. Say unto your heart, peace, be still. Key learnings. 1. True calmness is born from self-mastery and deep understanding of one's inner world. 2. Calm individuals wield greater influence and trust due to their steadiness and clarity. 3. Emotional storms are products of ungoverned thought. Calmness arises from thought discipline. 4. Peaceful minds see clearly and respond effectively, regardless of external chaos. 5. Calmness is not weakness, but the matured strength of a refined soul. Conclusion. In the stillness of introspection, James Allen's voice echoes through the chambers of the mind, quiet, firm, and enduring. As a Man Thinketh is not merely a book, it is a mirror. In its reflections, one sees not just who he is, but who he might become. The great lesson that binds every chapter is this: man is the master of his destiny, the builder of his character, and the author of his life through the ceaseless flow of thought. Every condition of body, circumstance, and fate arises from the unseen machinery of the mind. This truth does not bind man. It liberates him. It arms him with the only real power, the power to change himself, to think with purpose, to dream with conviction, to rise from defeat with renewed resolve. These are not the traits of a rare few, but the natural gifts of all who choose to awaken. The garden of the mind, when diligently tended, yields fruits of joy, peace, and strength. Even the weeds have their message. They show what has been neglected. And so, Allen leaves us with a challenge disguised as hope. Govern your thoughts, for they govern your world. The serenity you seek, the achievement you long for, the character you admire, they are not distant stars, but reachable summits, shaped one thought at a time. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. May these words not merely be read, but lived. If this gave you something to carry forward, help keep it alive on Patreon. Patreon.com/wisdom-to-wealth. Just scan the QR code on screen or find the link in the description below.